It's about Jamal Khashoggi, our colleague here at the Washington Post.
Right. Well, thank you, Bob. Thank you for hosting this forum on a topic of great importance to the life of the nation and to American leadership. But thank you also for giving me the opportunity to address the tragic murder of your colleague Jamal Khashoggi. The brutal murder of Jamal Khashoggi at the Saudi consulate in Turkey was a tragedy for his family, for his loved ones, and for your colleagues here at the Washington Post. It was also an assault on a free and independent press. And our administration is determined to use all means at our disposal to get to the bottom of it. President Trump has already expressed his concern that there have been lies, there's been deception. He dispatched the Secretary of State to the region early on, and the director of the CIA is there in Turkey now reviewing the evidence. And we're going to follow the facts. We're going to demand that those responsible are held accountable. And once we have all the facts, President Trump will make the decision based upon the values of the American people and our vital national interests. But allow me to express my personal sympathies to his fiancée, to his loved ones, his family, and to all the colleagues here at the Washington Post who admired and cherished the life and example of Jamal Khashoggi.
What's your response, Mr. Vice President, to President Erdogan's report this morning?
Well, the word from President Erdogan this morning that this brutal murder was premeditated, pre-planned days in advance, flies in the face of earlier assertions that have been made by the Saudi regime. And again, it underscores the determination of our administration to find out what happened here. The world is watching. The American people want answers, and we'll demand that those answers are forthcoming. We'll also, as we go forward, as we demand that those who are responsible are held accountable for this barbaric act, we will also do so in the light and in the context of America's vital national interests in the region. Our relationship with Saudi Arabia goes back some 60 years, since shortly after World War II. It represents an enormously important alliance in the region, and particularly under President Trump's leadership, we've forged renewed ties with Saudi Arabia and with other countries across the Middle East to confront the leading state sponsor of terrorism in Iran. And so we'll look for ways to hold those accountable that are accountable. We'll make sure that the world has the facts, that the American people have the facts about what happened here. And, but we'll also do so in the context of our vital national interests and the important and more than half-century-long relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia, which is truly essential to our nation's security and prosperity.
Speaking of holding those accountable, have you seen any intelligence linking Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to this crime?
Well, I don't want to speak about any intelligence that I've seen, Bob, as appropriate. I know that when the CIA director returns, she'll be briefing the president, myself, and our entire team on what the Turks have assembled. But look, I want to assure all of your colleagues here, I want to assure the American people, we're going to get to the bottom of it. This brutal murder of a journalist, of an innocent man, of a dissident, will not go without an American response. And I expect without an international response. But we want to find out what happened. And President Trump has made it very clear that the full resources of our intelligence community, working with intelligence officials in Turkey, in our interactions with Saudi Arabia, and also with other countries around the world, is going to follow the facts, and then decisions will be made.
Final question on this, then we'll turn to Space Force. Does that mean you're open to sanctions on the Saudi royal family?
Well, Whether or not there are sanctions imposed, whether there's other actions taken, will be a decision for the President of the United States. And what President Trump has made it clear, Bob, is that we want to know what happened. We're going to follow the facts. We're going to get all of the evidence, and then the President will make a decision that reflects the values and the interests of the American people. We'll do what's best for the American people. We'll also make sure that the world knows the truth of what happened. And that's a promise to the family of Jamal Khashoggi, a promise to all of those who worked with him here at the Washington Post, all who cherish his example around the world.